Hello, YouTube fans, here again. And I remember talking about my favourite of the Clint Eastwood, that being The Man with No Name Eternity. Why not this one? The one what launched Clint Eastwood in the spaghetti westerns, that would be A Fistful of Dyers. Say it again. Fistful of Dyers. Come out in 1964. And what can I say about it? It's a classic. There was a lot of history in this, and I remember saying it when I was talking about my kid Edson. At the time, as we all know, Clint Eastwood was more into TV shows, and he was famous for doing the TV show Wagon Train from the 50s to the 60s. It was only after Wagon Train went over air, Clint Eastwood was a struggling actor, you could tell. But happy to say, the thing in the Italy was the Italian spaghetti westerns. And at the time, Charles Bronson was big, he was a big star and all that, been into a few things, and originally he was going to take on Charles Bronson as the role, the man with no name. But Clint Eastwood auditioned. I think at the time Charles Bronson wanted to do something else and decided to give Clint Eastwood a chance, and the rest is history. So what can I say about this? It's a good one. The dubbing is not the best, but it's quite common for these spaghetti westerns. It's becoming very popular through the 60s. And if it rightly went on through the 70s and a bit of the early 80s, sadly to say, the westerns, the spaghetti westerns, were no more. But they was very popular in that golden era. And I do actually love the opening. It kind of reminds me a bit of a Bond movie meets a cowboy. You got the day opening with cowboys, bang bang, they're dead and all that. I do love the music. It goes do 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 do. I also remember the original 1964 trailer where it actually says you'll never see an adventure like this, and it's like different. And this was ahead of its time for spaghetti westerns. And it's like I said, it's down, it's dirty, it's not Fantasyland, it's not fucking like that common in those days of the cowboy films. And I do remember originally they did an opening. I think it was only in Italy where they used a look-alike of the long Clint Eastwood and they send him on a mission. And you get the idea he's a bounty hunter. It's a bounty hunter. And he's going in this strange land and it's wild. You've got these people, it's extortioning people. You've got a farm there and this guy's shooting at a kid. Have to say it goes about seeing kids get shot and all that, but this guy's a big guy, okay? I'll just say he's big without using an insulting word. And the funny thing is, one year after, he appeared in Fistful of Dyers More as a bad guy, and he also appeared in The Dud, The Bad and the Ugly. So he's been doing a few things, but I can definitely see why Clint Eastwood became big in these golden days of the spaghetti westerns. You know what I mean? With smoking the cigar and everything, he has a presence. In that era, when Clint Eastwood was in his heyday, he has a presence. So I love the bits where he's in a desert. He's like I say, it's down, it's dirty, it's tricky. And I love the bit with these dickheads. I call them dickheads. They're shooting at Clint Eastwood and they knock him off his arse. You think, is he going to let him get away with this? But it's Clint Eastwood. And he comes back and he says, I didn't like you laughing at me arse. It is me arse the funny feeling. You don't like it. But if you're going to apologise, which I know you are, maybe I can convince me arse to diffuse. They all look pissed, about to shoot him, but he said, shoots him like that, faster than how I did that. And then he gets hired as he's a bounty hunter. They send him on a mission. There's bits where he's double tossing the baddies, he's double tossing the others. And the funny thing is, one of the ones that plays the villain, burned right hair, one year after would play the villain in the follow-up, the sequel, that being A Fistful of Dyers More, which I'll talk about probably next when it comes to spaghetti westerns. But I don't like this one, you know what I mean? It's down, it's dirty, it's cheeky. There's bits where it's slow, it's a slow burn, but there's bits where it's pretty good. So as the film goes on, he helps them out. The villains realise he's double crossing them, and then he gets battered. There's a bit, where they set up the army and he's shooting everybody up, and it just risks it, so blood streaks and blood and gore. But for that era, the early 60s, being 1964, yeah, I know. You're not going to see blood, you're not going to see door, you're not going to see any of that. You know what I mean? It just makes me laugh, and the villain's shooting these horses and everyone up, and they're all falling down dead, and it's like, where's the fuck is the blood? But, it's early 60s, you're not going to see that. So it's kind of fun, it's like invisible blood. But it's like I say, there's just stuff which in Eastwood using, and he's double tossing him, and there's a bit where they battered him, a bit where they beat him up, it's a bit vicious. But it's a man with no name. So what happens is he gets the better, he kills the baddies, there's a guy that helps him on the way, he heals up, and I just love the bit how he outsmarts him. I love it. He gets a piece of metal, which you all know is the bulletproof vest, puts it on him, he's shooting non-stop to see if it works, and obviously he puts a jacket on. Then he confronts the baddies, he says, "You're going to shoot, shoot." So he's getting shot. You know, Clint Eastwood ain't going to die, the man with no name, because it's a medical suit. And I just love the race, so the lines. I just love the way he looks, the cigar in his mouth, all of that. I just love the way Clint Eastwood looks. Looks, I meant to say, in this film. So he shoots the baddies. There's a epic scene where, if I remember right there, they both put guns on the floor, and they've got to get the gun, load the bullets, and who gets lucky first. And I thought it was like different. It was unique. It wasn't your typical one in the holster, they pull out, and you always know the duddy's going to shoot the bad guy and all that. I just thought it was different that they had the time, and there's one done there, one done there. That's so many times to figure the holster and then get the done. Clint Eastwood gets lucky, shoots the bad guy. There's a funny bit when this guy's messaging the bodies, when he works doing coffins, he gets his money. Let's forget Clint Eastwood's a bounty hunter, and the bodies are all dead, and he's messaging the fucking coffins. And he gets on the horse, he rides off. You get typical the end, which is like typical of that era. End of movie. Now, I do know in Italy there's little bits here and there, it's a little bit different. There's a bit of different dialogue, and it's like I said, over the years, there's an opening where they did use a lookalike Clint Eastwood, where they send him out as a bounty hunter to go after the bad guys. The version you get now, you don't actually see any of that, but like I said, I just love the opening. It's like a Bond movie. It's hard to explain unless I saw the movie, but copyright and all this shit. But it's a date film, it really is. It's definitely brought a new look at spaghetti westerns. It brought out the name being Clint Eastwood, and the movie became a big hit worldwide. And then the Italian being the spaghetti, I meant to say, the spaghetti westerns became popular. And as we know, they did the firework one thereafter, the Dud Bag and the other. Clint Eastwood made a name, and the rest is history. But into them, people, be smart, be safe. I'll talk about some more movies, more movie reviews on the way. Into them, see you later.